You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I real.
This is part 6 of the Craftsman Emerson Generation 2 Drill Press Set Rebuild Series. If you haven't seen part 5, click the link at the top of the screen. In this video, we will be soaking drill press A in simple green and then citric acid. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is soak the column in simple green. This is a 4-inch pipe, PVC pipe with an end cap on the end, and it is I think sewer pipe. You can get it at any of the big box stores, but the column just fits inside there, and then we dump 2.5 gallons of simple green in there. And I'm just making sure it's covering the top of the column, and we're good. Next, I've got this plastic bin, and I'm just going to put all of the stuff that's going to get soaked inside this bin. So you can see the various items that are going to go in here. And I'm trying to place them in a way that keeps them as low in this bin as possible so we can use the least amount of simple green as possible. So we're going to soak this stuff in simple green because simple green is a degreaser. So it's going to help remove a lot of the crud from these parts. Most of this stuff is going to get cleaned up later with wire wheels or on the lathe. But yeah, so everything that's going to go in here is pretty much everything except for the electronics and anything that has graphics on it. So in the case of a Generation 2 drill press, the end cap for the belt cover has white graphics on it, so it's not going to go in here. And any of the data panels, like off of the motor or off of the base of the drill press, those are not going to go in here because the simple green will remove those graphics. It does a decent job of stripping paint. However, this gray paint that was used by the various manufacturers for Craftsman is pretty resilient. It does not want to come off very easily. So since I am going to be repainting both of these drill presses, I'm going to let this soak for an entire week. Normally I soak stuff for about 24 hours, but we're going to soak all of this stuff for an entire week. I ran out of simple green, so I had to add some water in here to make sure that it's covering everything, and that dilutes the simple green as well. I've since rectified that problem, but for this first drill press, this is the way it goes. So each one of those jugs is a 2.5 gallon jug. So you can see that's about 5, 6, maybe 7 jugs. So now it's been about 5 days, and we're going to take the column out of the plastic pipe. We need to get that simple green out of there and then get the column out. It's very slippery at this point. And we will run that simple green through a strainer later on. We're going to rinse out this pipe because we're going to be reusing it for the citric acid. And then we're going to rinse off the column. Then we're going to be using this citric acid. So you can get a bag like this off of Amazon. I think that's like a 5-pound bag. And we're just going to mix up some of it. So I use basically a tablespoon per gallon of water. So there's about 3 tablespoons inside that little plastic bin. We reinsert the column and strap it so it doesn't fall over. Then we're going to pour, well, we're going to add some water first. Get some water in there, and then we're going to pour that citric acid mix in there and then fill it all the way up with water. And we just want to make sure it's going to cover the top of the column. And we'll let that sit for another day or two. So here we are with the plastic bin that has the parts in it, and we're going to reclaim the citric acid. So I've got a strainer that is got a micro mesh filter in it, and we're basically straining the simple green as we reclaim it to get most of the contaminants out of it. But you can see the items inside the bin have kind of an orange coating to them. That's leftover grease and oil that was already in the simple green when I added it here. So as much as we strain the simple green to reclaim it, there's still going to be contaminants in it. And I reuse simple green probably about 6 to 10 times, and then I'll discard it and go get new simple green. So these 2.5 gallon jugs run about $20 from Home Depot. And they now carry the 5 gallon jugs, which are about $44 from Home Depot. So after we've reclaimed all that simple green, we go ahead and rinse these parts off. So this is just going to be me rinsing a bunch of these parts. Some of this stuff we'll hit with a wire brush. See if we can get some of that gross contamination off of it. But I'm not going to go too crazy here because we are going to be wire wheeling most of this stuff with an angle grinder or on the bench grinder in a later video. Any of the chromed parts are actually made out of Xamic. And when we go to the citric acid soak for these parts, we're not going to put any Xamic inside the citric acid. So everything that's going to go in the citric acid will either be steel or cast iron. There's quite a bit of paint on some of these, especially the cast iron parts, where I guess the previous owner just set cans of paint on the table, for instance, and got it all the way up on the belt cover from some crazy, I don't know, but no big deal. So the simple green will not hurt the rubber or the plastic parts, but we're not going to put the rubber or plastic parts in the citric acid. Again, just steel and cast iron is going to go in citric acid. And the purpose of the citric acid is to de-rust. So since plastic doesn't rust and Xamic doesn't rust, there's no reason to put it in there, but the citric acid does have kind of a weird reaction with Xamic parts. So if something looks like it's aluminum, it's probably Xamic. It could be aluminum, but we're not going to put aluminum or Xamic in the citric acid. Years ago, I used to still put everything in the citric acid, but it creates this weird film on Zamic parts. So I don't like using the citric acid on the Zamic. The head casting here. That's a wire brush I'm using on it. And the gray paint on this came off pretty decent. But on the base and on the table, that paint, it's just resilient. And the paint that's actually on the base it's in really good condition, and aside from all this white and gray paint that got on it from whatever, the original gray paint that's on it didn't even come off with this simple green. Now sometimes I'll use a paint stripper on these parts, but in this case I think we're just going to clean everything up with wire wheels. So here we are with the citric acid again, and we already know we've got about 16 gallons that go inside this bin. So it's going to get 16 scoops. Then we'll start mixing that up. Once we got it pretty well agitated, we'll start adding parts. And we're basically just going to put everything back in it like we did for the simple green, except only the parts that are steel or cast iron. And if you're a little confused about what's not going to go in here, at the end of the video I've got a shot of the parts that are not going to go in the citric acid. And once we've got that filled up, and we're doing this outdoors because the citric acid has kind of a rotten eggs scent to it once it starts working. So you want to do that outdoors. So these are the parts that are not going to go in the citric acid. So I'm not putting any of the rubber or bakelite or anything like that, or plastic or anything with graphics, electronics, the motor end shields, and the pulleys. And that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we will continue with Drill Press B. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.